This week, hopefully the Eagles don't forget who they are, which is an 11-2 football team. There's so much going on here. Sirianni will speak today at 12:15. We'll carry that live. But obviously the biggest story is the story that's not on the field. And it's the quarterback and it's the wide receiver and their relationship and now the locker room stuff. And we know what happened with Brandon Graham on Monday, and we spoke all about it yesterday. But I was thinking about it today. Like, now what, right? How do they move this forward? How do they fix this thing? And the more I think about this, the more I'm putting this on Nick Sirianni. Not that this is his fault. I'm not blaming Sirianni for anything. I mean, these are two grown men that have, for some reason, had some sort of issue that's cropped up, and obviously they can't get past it right now, and Brandon Graham speaking on that. But Hugh, now, starting today, they're back in the building for work, prepping for the Steelers. Back in the building,
getting ready for a game.
Big game.
Was it the battle for Pennsylvania?
Yes.
The Pennsylvania Championship? That's what Coach Tomlin called it yesterday.
State title? Yeah.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania Championship.
It's state title weekend. It's a big game, and the Eagles obviously still have everything in front of them. And the more I think about this situation, I'm putting this on Nick Sirianni to mend this fence, to figure it out, to be the culture guy. Like Sirianni, whenever anyone tells me, Joe, you're too hard on him, he's a good coach, let him be, everyone points back to the culture that he's established here, the winning they do under Nick Sirianni. Well, last year, the season was derailed in part because it seemed like there was stuff under the surface, whether it was him and the quarterback or was the coordinator or it was AJ, I don't know. But there was stuff going on. They fired a coordinator in December, and it all fell apart. And all right, we forgave him for that, and they're better this year. Well, they have a better team this year, and they can't let this thing fall apart again. And Nick Sirianni can't let 2023 happen all over again. He's got to make sure that he gets these two guys on the same page. And I'm calling for Sirianni to do something that a coach that I believe is better than him couldn't do here in Philadelphia. I'm calling on Sirianni to do what Andy Reid couldn't. Mend the fence between the star quarterback and the star wide receiver. Andy's a great coach, one of the greatest coaches ever. Maybe he goes down as the greatest coach ever. Who knows? He couldn't fix Donovan and T.O. back in the day. I'm asking Sirianni to fix this, get these two guys on the same page. I don't know if it's a meeting, if it's just a conversation. Get them on the same page. Hugh, what do you feel on this? Is this on Sirianni or is it on the players themselves to fix it?
It's on the players, and I have a intimate knowledge of the T.O. Donovan thing.
You sure do. You do.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that this morning. And I feel like there's a lot with that story because I heard people talking about it, and I heard Joe DeCamera talking about, Trot and Doc couldn't fix it. There was a lot going on because at that time, it was a house divided. Just let me say that. It was a house divided. Yeah. It was a house divided, and there were different camps. There was the T.O. camp, and there was the Donovan camp. And I think for us at the time, we stuck our head in the sand for the most part. Well, I wasn't there, but I was not in the locker room because I was on the media side then. But there was a lot of, people sticking their heads in the sand and not doing a whole lot or not speaking up or it's a lot of people in silos. I feel like in this situation, it's on the players because, they've seen what could potentially happen in situations like this. And I think they're, for the most part, I feel like they're a closer group. And I think that they need to fix it. It's out there now. And the two main players, the two main characters in this story, they are the ones that have to fix it. They are the ones that, when I think about what their brand has been, they both want to win. You talk about AJ being in Tennessee and having, not the same kind of success that he's had here. You talk about Jalen and his climb, his meteoric climb from, being drafted where he was drafted to becoming the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles and going to the Super Bowl and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. It's on those two players to keep their eyes on the prize. I said it yesterday, and I know I say a lot of joking things here, but I was real serious about sometimes you have to put your pride in your pocket and you have to do what's right. Like I told a story yesterday about, me and Brian Mitchell. Brian Mitchell. And I was talking about how we had a little bit of a tay-to-tay. And I took it upon myself to apologize because the game was bigger than our petty squabble. And they have to look at it the same way. The game is bigger than a petty squabble. I don't know what the issue is between these two guys, but at some point you were friends. More so than T.O. and Donovan. T.O. and Donovan still haven't meshed well since that day because they really weren't that good of friends.
Still nonsense.
They're still beefing. I mean, man, still waters run deep, man. So I feel like these two guys, they have family history. This can be fixed. This can be fixed this weekend, but they have to be the ones to fix it because to be honest, at the end of the day, from what I'm hearing, they're the only two ones they're the only two guys that know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, well, you're right on that. 215-592-9494. Who is this on the fix? Is this on Nick Sirianni to get these two guys on the same page, or is it on them? I'll use an analogy here. I always feel like just speak for myself. As a parent, sometimes your kids fight, right? And as they get older, they're going to have to figure it out and be cordial and kind to each other and fix things. But, they're still young, my kids. And the way I view these players is they're still young. Sirianni's the adult in the room. He's got to be the adult in the room, get them together, and help them find some common ground here. In the beginning of the season, we've heard a lot about that meeting between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, right? Mm-hmm. Here they spoke at the bye, and it seemed like, and we don't know what was said, but from the way I kind of guess, it seemed like Nick told him, hey, this is the way I think we need to play to win. And Jalen got on board with it, right? In so many ways said, we're going to be more of a running team. We're going to throw it less. And Jalen checked his ego at the door, and it seems like he's been fine with it. Maybe it's time for him to sit down with AJ. The same way he sat down with Jalen and said, listen, I know you want the ball. I know that we all know the pass game's struggling. We're trying to get you the football. We're trying to get better. But this is our best path to winning right now. It's not going to be as pretty as you want. Your targets are going to be down. You got to get on board. 215-592-9494. Let's hear from Nick Sirianni, what he said yesterday on With the Morning Show, what he sees right now inside the building that maybe we can't.
All I can judge things on is what I see on a daily basis. When I see, AJ and Jalen communicating about the game plan, eating lunch together every single day, praying with each other before the game. There's going to be speculation, and I get it, rightfully so, based on what's happened the last couple of days. But all you can do is judge what you see. I have more information. I see them every single day. I see what's going on in the building. And so you just have to, to me, we know what there's going to be noise, and I get, and I obviously get it, just based off of what's happened here in the last couple of days. But I go on my daily relationships with these guys, with myself. I go on the daily relationships that I see every single day that these guys spend 7 hours. You guys get to see 3 hours of it every day, and then a little bit after, every week, and a little bit. I get to see 7 or 8 hours of it every day. And
well, then you should have intimate knowledge on how to fix it. Sirianni's saying he's got the background info. He's with these guys every day. And all right, then what does he say? Is this going to be more like 2022 where they rallied after a December lull, or last year when things got ugly and then it fell apart? Here's Sirianni yesterday.
And then I can say this, every week after a game, we put up, I think it's one thing that I felt, if you want to go back to last year, I felt like there wasn't joy sometimes after wins. And so one thing we talk about is just being able to celebrate together and how important that is. And so what we do is every Monday after the game, we show, our celebrations together, right? After big plays and kind of a montage of that. And I see so much joy from this team. And there's, we can say, hey, there's 23 based off what happened the last couple of days. Hey, oh, man, there's a little 2023 vibes. I see a lot of 2022 vibes.
Well, Nick's, I hope he's right, because 2022 ended with a trip to Glendale in the Super Bowl. 215-592-9494. Look, I think as a team, as players, as a group, they're closer to 22. It's a really good team. It's a team that has a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl. I didn't feel that last year, but vibes-wise, locker room-wise, I don't know. There's some 23 stuff coming out right now. 215-592-9494. That's how you hop in. Who is it on a fix? Is Sirianni or the players?